โอเคตอนนี้ก็เป็นพอดีว่าหลักสูตรของผมเนี่ยจะรอการรับนักศึกษาแล้วก็รอให้อาจารย์พัฒนาคุณภาพศักยภาพของอาจารย์
หลักสูตรอะไรนะคะท่านอนันต์ขาขอถามอีก
ของรปมฮะรัฐประเสริฐศาสตร์มหาบัณฑิตครับพอดีหลักสูตรนี้เนี่ยอาจารย์ท่านหนึ่งท่านออกไปเป็นไปกลับไปอยู่บ้านที่อุดรนะฮะอุดรท่านพอท่านได้รอสอบปุ๊บท่านก็ไปอยู่อุดรมันก็เลยเหลือ2 คนมันก็เปิดไม่ได้มันก็เลยจำเป็นต้องยุบตัวไปนี่คือพูดถึงความจำกัดของหลักสูตรนะครับไม่ใช่ว่าพอผมเข้าไปแล้วมันยุบเลยไม่ใช่นะอันนี้ก็เป็นวิชาเจนเอ็ดครับดูแลวิชาเจนเอ็ดเรื่องของวิศวกรสังคมครับผมพรีเซนเตอร์มาแล้วครับ
I'm quite sorry for that, but I was having that.
That's very okay. That's very okay. So don't mention that. Okay. So
as I was talking about IoT devices, yeah. So as I said that the era of IoT devices is basically started in 1960s. Because as DARPA invented Bluetooth technology, that was called IEEE 802.11. Later on, in 2015 onwards, we call it that it was like we was having billions of IoT devices in the world because IoT devices connect each and everything together. Initially, there was no concept of Internet of Everything. At that time, IoT devices were just called that we are having a hardware and the hardware is connected with the Internet. Let's say if we are having a mobile phone and to mobile phone we connect with our day-to-day life things like inside our home we are having so many things connected together through the internet and we can connect that with our mobile phone as well. If we are going to switch on our TV through our mobile phone and so many other stuff we can do with the help of internet using some hardware devices. So for that purpose, in 2015, about 6 billion devices was found throughout the world that was called IoT devices. Later on, if we call it, that is basically a future prediction about the IoT devices, that in 2030, it will become at least 100 billion devices throughout the world. So, as if we are going to smart our home, if we are going to have a smart home management system inside our areas, so I think Internet of Things is playing the backbone for the smart city. Let's talk about a little about the future prospects of the IoT devices as well. By 2050, I think the world's population, like as right now, some of the people are living in the villages, and some of the people are going to move towards the urban areas. So if they are going to move towards the urban areas, so everyone wants good living standards. Everyone wants to have facilitated life. So if someone wants facilitated life, so everyone is moving towards the city. Everyone wants good jobs. Everyone wants good education. So smart education, smart agriculture, everything is available mostly in big cities, I will say. Most of the people, it's a predicted thing. In my research, I say that about 75% of the world population will move towards the city by 2050. This is just my prediction. And today, nowadays, about 3.6 billion people are living in cities. So if 3.1 billion people are living in cities, so if the cities will be automated, if the cities will be having the interconnectivity things, if they will be having so many projects related with the smart cities concept, so it will enhance our decision-making skills. If we will be having good data, so through data we can easily decide our things. So eventually, as the concept of Internet of Things will switch towards the Internet of Everything. Why? Because there will be vehicles, there will be people, there will be data, everything will be connected with each other. So we call that Internet of Everything. Let me introduce a little bit about, as we discussed earlier, about Internet of Things. So nowadays, due to the 2019 pandemic, COVID-19, everything just switched towards the online thing. And right now, at the moment, I'm in another country, and you guys are over there in Thailand. So due to this online thing, we are connected with each other. This, we can call it smart education, smart facility. So the online facility like Zoom, Google Meet, and so many other things. At the moment when I was doing lecturing and at Abdul Wali Khan University, one of the prestigious university of Pakistan over here. So while I was delivering lectures at the moment, COVID-19 pandemic came, and we completely switched ourselves directly towards the online education, and it was quite easy for the teachers, but it was quite tough for the students initially, because we was trying to convince the students that how to give them guidance properly through the online stuff. Most of the departments was having problem because they must have to do work in their labs. If they will be having no proper lab, so they cannot do their research work properly. But in terms of computer science and engineering, most of the things are quite well, even during pandemic as well. Students' education was not suffered, I will say, because every school, college, university throughout the world, they completely shifted towards the online stuff. Also, about, I will say that from a decade ago, people are working on the smart health. Now they are working in telemedicine, or like, I will say that telemedicinary thing is quite over there in the smart health stuff, because if someone wants to have an appointment with a doctor, nowadays it's quite easy. They take an appointment through online, and they talk with the doctor properly. If something is serious, so then after that they go towards the hospital. If I talk about the mobility, so right now if I'm having this smartphone, and if I want to go from one place to another in a city, so I hardly take an Uber. Uber is a international company, and we can easily book a ride on that company through a mobile application. So smart mobility is quite easily available. The smart government structure. Due to the pandemic, I'm calling again pandemic like COVID-19, because COVID-19 has given us the facility to move towards the online thing. So smart government is also become possible, but the thing regarding smart government, in the middle of my presentation, I'm going to merge the unmanned air vehicles with the smart city concept. It's a new concept in the research world. So I want to integrate that. So government are facing a lot of like, if I talk about even the developed countries, they are even thinking about the cybersecurity attacks. Because if someone attack on the website, school website, college website, university website, or something else, if they attack on it, it's a big problem. It's a big threat to the entire world, because they can extract data. So we must have to be smart enough to work on the cybersecurity perspective as well. Recently, I did one of the research projects with the Iranian university that was about Markov chain distribution to detect the cybersecurity threats in unmanned aerial vehicles to safeguard the smart city. And we easily detected about 2 attacks that was called denial of service and distributed denial of service. Later I will a little bit discuss about that as well. So if we talk about smart agriculture, so smart agriculture is giving us the concept that we can easily use drones over there and deploy drones over there in agriculture, and it is giving us the easy facility to spray the things over there in agriculture or farming, and even if we are doing some smart environment stuff, so we can use so many things regarding this. As I already discussed about the safety and security of the things, it's quite important. So we must have to be, if we are moving towards the online stuff, so we must have to secure it as well. And also smart businesses as well. So the word smart, I added the smart with each and everything. So the smart will give us the facility to move towards the smart city, because smart city is giving you the to connect you with each other quite easily. So let me talk a little about another slide, and another slide is giving us the information about the Uzbekistan. It's a underdeveloped country. I will say that it's a third world country, and they are having like they just implemented some of the projects over there regarding the smart cities. Also recently, I will talk about Singapore as well. Singapore is having governmental projects regarding smart cities, and they try to reduce the energy consumption. If I talk about in terms of the development over there in Uzbekistan, so it's quite clearly mentioned that the UNDP have funded one of the projects regarding global environmental facility, which is mentioned in the slide as well, and they have tried to reduce the energy consumption over there. And because the greenhouse effect is directly affecting our lives, so there are so many dangerous gases which is because of the deforestation, I will say. So energy consumption is quite important. So they worked on that, and they also tracked the bus traffic, and at which time the bus will come, at which time bus will go, like the same timing for the train and each and everything as well. So if I'm talking about the energy, so we in this project basically they properly worked on the smart grid technology. The smart grid technology, they have enhanced their things regarding the smart electric things, which we call it smart grid. And also they have reduced the things that, like if someone is going to violate the rules of the traffic, so due to the smart city concept, these things are quite avoided quite easy. So if we start basic infrastructure, so initially the basic infrastructure is quite manual. If we move towards a little bigger thing, so we must have to implement the small scale projects over there in a manual city. So and if we move towards, and if we want to live in a smart city, so we must have to connect people with each other. If people will be connected with each other, so easily the transformation of information can be taken place from one place to another. Right now, I'm moving towards another side, which I call it that I'm going to merge the smart city concept with the unlinear vehicles. I selfly formulated, and I claim from 2020, because one of my research articles is published regarding a new language which I invented, and I call that Enhanced ANFOGNet. It is basically on the working principle of ant colony optimization, and I claim it the language for drones. And that language of drones is quite better if we are the people, and if we are communicating with each other in English or any other language. So I will say that drones are machines, but they can also talk with each other in their own language. So I basically built a language which enhances the capability of drones. And drones can be easily deployed in each and every situation. Right now, we can make use of which I call Internet of Drones. Internet of Drones is the combination of Internet of Things and unmanned vehicles as well. So we can use this stuff in video and photography, medical field application, logistics. If I talk about logistics, so the Amazon and DHL are the companies. They have deployed unmanned vehicles in many places. And if I talk about the medical application, so we can easily say, and we can easily call the example of pandemic, because during pandemic we was having so many problems, and to overcome that problem, unmanned vehicles can be easily used for the transformation from manual cities to smart cities. And right now, if we are having an event in our day-to-day life, so we commonly use quadcopters. quadcopters are the mini unmanned vehicles, we call it. If I call the unmanned vehicles, so there are two forms of unmanned vehicles. One is for civil application and another one for military application. For military applications, the drones are quite different. Even there is a military guy, he's having a drone in his hand, above his hand, and he's showing us a swarm, like a small scale mini drone. So mini drones can also be used. So unmanned vehicles can be used for public safety and agriculture, as I earlier discussed as well. But for governmental purposes, we must have to make proper laws to ensure the safety of the normal human as well. Because if I'm having a quadcopter and if I want to take some photography things from my surrounding, so there might be one of the guy, he will be saying that why he is capturing this moment, and why if he is having a home nearby, so he might say that why you are capturing the video nearby my home. So we must be having proper laws for this as well. So that's why smart government is quite enough to ensure the rules and regulations for the smart city concept as well. As I claim and I say that I developed one of the routing protocol. Routing protocol is basically called, I will call it, I used to train my students regarding routing protocols and computer communication technologies a lot. So I used to give this example a lot, and I read this example when I was a bachelor level student, and the book was about Bahroz Frozen is the author of that book, and the book name is Data Communication and Networks. In that example, if we call what is a protocol, what is a routing protocol, so we say it if, let's say if we are having two people in one room over there, and one person is Chinese and another one is German, and they can communicate with each other because their languages are different, but they can communicate through English. English is the medium for both of them. So we can call it that English is the routing protocol for both of them. So we can call that English is a routing protocol used over there, or either we can say it that it is a median as well. So I claim and I have developed a newly emerged routing protocol specifically for drones. And I tested it over here, and it is working, and it is giving me a very bad result. So my routing protocol is basically quite sensitive to packet drop rates. If we are sending some data, so it's quite sensitive regarding that, and it is yielding the network throughput, like how many data we have received with respect to time. So it is working on the network throughput as well. And it is quite tolerant to the end-to-end delay, like we call it network jitter as well. And it also tries to save some sort of a node's energy as well. In my that research, I did implemented that algorithm, and I even deployed that algorithm on a proper scale on industrial level as well on drone. So it is giving me about 1/3 of energy. It is my algorithm can easily save 1/3 of drone energy, and they can easily use it somewhere else if they want. If the base station directs you, so they can use it. And this routing protocol is basically based on the basic working of ant colony optimization. The basic pseudocode of the algorithm is right over here. Basically, I have enhanced the ant colony optimization, as we know that the ants are they are basically blind, and they can't see when they are going to move from one place to another. They are dropping pheromone from their mouth, and when they drop the pheromone from their mouth, so they try to travel on that pheromone. So when they are traveling on that liquid, we call that liquid pheromone. So if they are traveling on that specific pheromone, so they will be moving from source to the food destination, and they try to collect the food from that place, and then they bring back that food to the their source, or either to the destination. So,
I'm so sorry, Professor. So we have less than 1 minute. So after the thumbs up, I will send you a link so you can continue your presentation. Okay.
Sure,
So
sure.
I want to say hello to Professor Dr. Waimo Kumar, my supervisor from Taiwan. Hello, Professor. Hello,ค่ะ
Hello.
อาจารย์ที่
Yes, it is going very nice presentation. Yes, I am listening. Yes,
Thank
and
you so much.
thank you for sending me the request. Yes. Okay. Yes, I think continue. Then we will discuss and
Thank you.
end of your presentation. Yes.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Okay, อาจารย์